Attention, shoppers. Please hide at the back of the store immediately. Attention, shoppers. Came a male voice over the intercom. Please move to the back of the store immediately. The back of the store? I whispered to Daniel. Don't they meet the front of the store to pay for our stuff? It was 8:50 p.m., 10 minutes till closing time. We brought our 2 kids out on his late night Walmart excursion in the hopes of burning down some energy. Instead, they just throw in tantrums for new Legos and Hot Wheels. It was a disaster. But apparently, the disaster was just the beginning. Please, move to the back of the store immediately, the voice repeated overhead. This is not a drill. I glanced around, but the other shoppers were just as confused as I was. An old lady looked up at the ceiling, scratching her face. What the hell? A dark-haired woman asked her boyfriend, pushing a cart full of garden supplies. Didn't you hear? Another man said, leaning over a cart of bottled water and canned food. We're in a tornado watch. One touchdown is Solville. A tornado? It was definitely storming outside. I seen the black clouds rolling from the east earlier, but it didn't look that bad. Do not stay out in the open, I repeat. Do not stay out in the open. There was a pause. An explosion of sound as everyone began to mobilize, carts rolling, panicked voices, feet slapped on the floor. No, this can't be. I hurried back the toy aisle, took her in my arms, Daniel and Jackson following me. 3 zigzag turns, and then we were all in the electronics area. I glanced at the TVs on the walls and pictured the 4 of us, crushed underneath them. Stay away from the windows and doors, the voice continued on the loudspeaker, and do not attempt to exit the store. Is this safe here? And he shook his head. Big open areas aren't good. I'm going to check in the back and see if there's any break room or something. You stay here, okay? I nodded. Arms shaking, I sat down on the ground between 2 shelves of video games. Took her snugged on a bottle in my arms while Jackson began to giggle. Is the tornado going to hit the store? And everything will fly around real fast? He asked with a stupid grin on his face. I don't know. A tornado. A real-life tornado like you see in the movies playing through our town. It was so unfathomable. We were New York natives, transplanted here to India only 6 months ago. I'd never been in a tornado watch in my entire life. Then he dragged back into view, everything locked up, he said as he joined me on the floor. But listen, Fairview's a big town. The chances that it'll hit this Walmart, I think we'll be okay. I never should have brought us here. You didn't know. None of us did. He wrapped his arm around me. They should have warned us like an emergency alert on our phones. Or a tornado siren or something. The overhead rang out again through the store. Do not stay on the open. Do not make yourself visible. That includes security cameras. Please move to a spot that is not visible to any security cameras. I frowned. What does that have to do with tornadoes? I feeling of unease in the pits of my stomach. I glanced up and saw black globes descending from the ceiling, hitting between the cameras. I guess we should listen to them and get out of the sight, I whispered. I grabbed Jackson's hands. Daniel picked up Tucker, and we jogged down to the center aisle. The store was an eerie sight, abandoned shopping carts, askew in the aisle, full of everything from pies to batteries to plans. Footsteps echoed around the store from people unseen as they found their new hiding places. We dodged a shopping cart full of soda, ran through the kitchenwares, then stopped in the Easter decoration aisle. There was a camera in the central corridor, but as long as we stayed in the middle of the Easter aisle, we'd be invisible. The 4 of us crouched on the floor, next to some demented-looking Easter bunnies. I'm hungry, Jackson whined. Shh, Mommy. I grabbed a bag full of chocolate eggs and ripped it open. Here, candy, happy? I whispered, thrusting them into his hands. Then I leaned back against the metal shelves painting. But I didn't have long to rest. A mechanical whine overhead and the voice came through the speakers again. Keep away from aisles with food. If you have food with you, leave it and move it to a new hiding place. If you have any open wounds, cover them with clothing. The fuck? That had nothing to do with keeping safe in the tornado. We should make a run for it, Danny whispered to me, starting to stand. But the tornado, I don't think there's a tornado. Listen, do you hear any wind? I listened, but all I heard was silence. No howling wind, no shaking ground, no projectiles clanging against the metal roof. Maybe it's still coming. I know what they're saying. Doesn't make any sense but to go outside. We need to get out of here now. He grabbed Jax's hand as he held Tucker in his arms. Come on, Danny, I don't think this is a good idea, I whispered. But the next words to my intercom changed my mind. Assume a fetal position. Place your hands on your head. Close your eyes and not open them for any reason. Let's go. We broke into a sprint and ran down the central aisle. Cameras be damned, the front door appeared in front of us. A little black rectangle looming in the distance. And as we get closer, I saw Daniel was right. There was a tree at the border of the parking lot under a street light. It was perfectly fine. We continued running past the clothing area, past the snacks lined up at the checkout lines. I ran towards the sliding glass doors as fast as my legs would carry me. Almost there. The doors didn't open. No. Daniel slammed his body against the door. It rattled underneath him. I tried to squeeze my fingers into the gap between them to try to pull them apart. They didn't budge. They locked us in, I whispered. I want to go home, Jackson said. Tucker was beginning to fuss, making little noises like he was about to start full-on wailing. I turned around. That's when I saw him. A Walmart employee. He was sitting on the ground at the end of one of the checkout aisles, facing away from us, wearing the familiar blue vest of a golden starburst. Hey, let us out, he didn't reply. Did you hear? I don't care if there's a fucking tornado out. Lock the door and let us out. Again, he said nothing. But in the silence, I could hear something. A wet smacking sound. I stared at the man slightly hunched over, still facing away from me. Was he eating something? The speaker overhead crackled to life. Attention. Please do not talk to any Walmart employees. My blood ran cold. The smacking sound stopped, and then slowly, the man began to stand. He placed his palms on the conveyor belt and pushed up, and I could see that the were stained with blood. I backed away, but my legs felt like they were moving through a vat of honey. No. Fingers locked around my arm and yanked. Come on, Daniel, shouted. I sprinted after him deep into the store. Tucker stared at me over his shoulder, and Jackson ran as fast as his little feet would take him. I was vaguely aware of the slap slap sound behind me, but I didn't care to look back. Daniel ran into the clothing area, and I swayed, dodging the circular racks of t-shirts and wooden displays of baby clothes. He skidded into a stop and ducked into the dressing room area. In here, he whispered, motioning at one of the rooms. We piled inside and locked the door. Daddy? Jackson started. He listened to me very carefully, I said, crouching to his level. You have to be absolutely silent. Do not say a word, okay? Jackson looked at me. Then Daniel, he nodded and sat down on the floor. I'm going to try to call 911. Daniel whispered. Transferring Tucker to me and pulling out his phone, he tapped the screen then forward. What? We don't seem to have any service. I don't. Dumped. I grabbed Jackson and pulled away from the door. The four of us huddled in the corner. I held my breath. Dump. Under the gap. Under the dressing room door, men's feet in the black shoes. They slowly took a step forward, deeper into the dressing room. Don't move, I whispered, holding Jackson. The man took another step. Don't make a sound. Don't move. Don't. Tucker let out a soft cry. The man stopped. His feet pointing out at us. No. Tucker let out another cry. Louder this time. My nails dug into Daniel's hand. No. A hand appeared. It slowly pressed up against the floor, stained with blood. And then his knees appeared as he lowered himself to the gap. No. Could he fit under? The gap wasn't small. It was like the stall door to a bathroom. If he found himself against the floor, there's a chance he could fit under. I watched in horror as his stomach came into view. His blue Walmart vest as he lowered his body into the floor and he pushed his arms under the gap blindly and swept it across the floor as if feeling for us. This is it, we're going to die. Then he lowered his head. His face. Oh God. There was something horribly wrong with his face. He smiled at us. That was it, possibly wide. showing off bloodstains of teeth. His skin was so pale, it was nearly blue. His eyes, they were milky white, with pupils or irises. I opened my mouth to scream. "Attention shoppers," the voice began overhead. "Oh no, no. Please make your way to the front of the store and make your final purchases. We will be closing in 10 minutes. What? And then, before I could react, something unseen jerked the man out of view. A strange dragging sound followed, as if someone else was dragging his body out the dressing room area. I stared at the door, shaking as Tucker cries rang in my ears, but he didn't come back. And within 10 minutes, the usual hub-tub of Walmart returned. Voices, footsteps, shopping cart wheels rolling along the floor. Shaking, I finally got up and unlocked the door. The store completely looked normal. People were lined up at the cash registers, placing their goods on a conveyor belt. Employees were scanning tags, printing receipts. People walked towards the glass doors, and when they did, they slid open. As he slowly walked towards the exit, I spotted the older man who warned us about the tornado earlier. What was that? I asked, unable to keep my voice shaking. He shrugged. I guess the tornado missed us. What a miracle, huh? Giving us a smile, he disappeared out of the glass doors and into the night. To end off this video, I do want to see you guys. Thank you guys for sharing this. If you guys did hear this, I'm back. I stopped for a very long time, so I'm gonna be back. So yeah, see you.